Hey there, good morning everyone. Friday the 8th of April 2022. This morning's devotional is a reading from Matthew chapter 18 verse 21, which reads, Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother when he sins against me? Up to 7 times? Conflicts don't destroy relationships. It's the refusal to resolve a conflict that eventually causes a relationship to become strained and broken. Saying I'm sorry or forgive me with sincerity and feeling can turn a conflict into a learning experience and put a bad situation behind you as you find solid footing and move on. But those words are difficult at best and impossible at worst for most people. Yet why is it so difficult? Some people are blame fixers. No matter who is at fault, it is never that person. Instead of acknowledging that there was a misunderstanding and putting it behind, the blame fixer places the entire responsibility for the problem on the other person. So his time and energy is spent like a prosecuting attorney in building a case against the other person. This becomes a no-win situation and really is a misunderstanding one-sided. Does it matter who said what or who did what that caused the first shot to be fired? The reality is the longer you take verbal swipes at each other, the more damage is going to be done. Other people have grown up in homes where an apology would never be given or forgiveness extended. When disagreements took place, after the exchange of words, the issue was pushed aside, but not dealt with and never resolved. Then, in the future, when something else happened, all of the details of the previous encounter were whipped out and used as fuel for the fire. For example, I suppose you are lying just like you did when ... We've all been there, and it is opening up that old wound again. When a wound is received, bleeding occurs, and this allows the wound to be cleansed. But then the flow of blood needs to be stemmed. Otherwise, that wound can be fatal. For healing to take place, the wound needs to be disinfected and then covered so it does not get irritated any further. The same is true of emotional healing. Once you have dealt with the situation, don't keep on opening your wound to re-examine the thing. Don't take verbal jabs at the emotional wound your adversary has sustained. Eventually, a wound heals. And when it does, you take the plaster off. It's finished, right? Well, not always. But often, individuals never take off that plaster when they're emotionally wounded. People will continue to tell their friends about a spouse's indiscretion or failure. People go from priest to pastor, church to church, bearing their grievances and past wounds, proudly displaying their emotional bandages which they never remove. No matter the circumstances that surrounded you when you were growing up, you can learn to handle conflict and to resolve issues which threaten to destroy your marriage, your friendship, or even a relationship with a friend. A first aid book says, only gentle pressure should be applied to stem the flow of blood. My dear friends, let us begin applying first aid in a gentle manner. Let us stop taking jabs and swipes at each other, and let us acknowledge our share in whatever it is. May the Lord be with you. May he bless you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be with you always. Goodbye.